This episode is best enjoyed with earphones on.
While walking the path of regret, stay sharp. Don't trust what you hear, and for the love of whatever gods you believe in, don't follow the whispers.
You sound like you've done this before.
More times than I care to remember.
Dad?
Sionnach! Stop!
You let your parents die in vain. You're the reason I became who I am. The reason for your own suffering.
Talona?
So you do remember. I thought you didn't care. You never do. You went off on your little adventures. Left the grove to burn. Left them to burn. And all for what? Yourself? That man.
No, that's not true.
Isn't it?
May?
You confused me, Sionnach. I thought we had something special. You gave me hope, then took it away. I gave up everything for you. But you left me behind. When I needed you the most, you were gone. For him, you played me.
No, May. I didn't mean to. Please. Tell me what I can do. How can I make this right?
Stay with me. Stay here. Forever.
Sionnach! I told you, don't follow the whispers. None of it is real. They're illusions, reflections of our deepest regrets, nothing more.
Why, Faar? Why did you give up our memories? Why? I loved you. I hurt for you. I waited for you. I thought what we had was real.
I don't remember anything between us. I'm sorry.
Why? Why would you give it all up? Was it worth it?
Whatever I did for my child. I had a family once, a son. I remember us being a happy family, but then sickness came. He fell ill. Nothing helped. No healer, no spell. I remember making a contract with an entity to bring him back. I don't remember the conditions, though.
Your wife, the entity you've made the pact with, asked for your life or hers taken by the other.
What?
She consumed you both, manipulated you. You ended up hating each other and hunting each other for the kill, for the power, for your kid to come back.
So, that's what happened.
Do you remember how you ended up here?
I don't. I just remember coming with a woman with long brown hair, green eye. Was that my wife?
No, that was our friend May. Is it still here? Faar, is May here in the crossroads?
I don't know. I just remember walking into the crossroads with her. But after that, nothing. Everything in my mind is broken. Just random pictures that don't connect. I can't tell if they're from the past, the present, or the future. I gave up almost everything to bring my son back. But in every reality, in every world, in every timeline I have traveled, he is gone.
The one memory you still hold. It's him, isn't it?
Yes. Let's keep moving.
Faar. What's the second memory you kept?
Just your name.
In a galaxy far, far away, two adventurers pose their journey through magical forests and arcane chaos to honor a story that shaped the stars themselves. Armed with dice, tea, and an unreasonable love for lightsabers, they gather on the sacred May the 4th to ask the big questions. Which are some of the greatest trivia from the Star Wars universe? What D&D class would Darth Vader play as? And which TTRPG system lets you punch a stormtrooper in the face with cinematic flair while throwing some dice? This is a Star Wars special. Welcome to the misadventures of the Bard and the Druid.
What an episode we have today, and what a day! Happy Star Wars Day, everyone! May the 4th be with you. We had to dedicate this episode to one of the greatest sagas of all time, a true masterpiece of storytelling, imagination, and lore. So, without further ado, we're kicking things off with some fun Star Wars fun facts, because we love fun facts, and I personally live for them. Alright, so, hear me out on this first one, because it blew my mind when I read this. Darth Vader only has 8 minutes of screen time in A New Hope, and I just realized that. And honestly, I think that's incredible, because think about it. 8 minutes, and yet he became one of the most iconic villains in all of cinema with just his heavy breathing, mostly. I mean, how amazing is that?
To be fair, he didn't need much screen time. He was serving villain boss energy.
That's true.
I don't really like Anakin or Darth Vader, but let's be honest, the fact he was wearing a mask and breathing through it, I kinda like that.
You're not the only one here.
But as you probably have guessed, my favorite character is Chewbacca. Chewie.
No. That was horrible. Just forget it.
Did you know that Chewbacca's voice was made from a mix of animals? Ben Burt, the sound designer, mixed bear, walrus, lion, badger, and seals to create Chewie's iconic roar.
What? I'm never gonna hear Chewbacca the same way after that. But speaking of incredible sound design, let's talk about an incredible actor, Samuel L. Jackson. Did you know that his lightsaber actually says "Bad Mother" on it, engraved on the real prop? And it's a nod to his iconic line from Pulp Fiction.
Samuel L. Jackson is an iconic king.
He is indeed. And now for the purple lightsaber itself. That part was already pretty well known to Star Wars fans, that he specifically requested it because he wanted to stand out in the big Geonosis battle. But what's even cooler is how that personal request actually expanded the lore. Because in current canon, the purple lightsaber represents a Jedi who stands between the light and the dark. So Mace Windu is a Jedi Master, totally committed to the Jedi Code. But unlike most Jedi, he walks a really fine line because he can channel his inner darkness without falling to it. So, in lightsaber color terms, blue is for the traditional Jedi, red is for the Sith, and purple is for someone who uses the light while acknowledging the darkness. And I'm here for it. I love this.
That is so cool. Personally, though, my favorite Jedi Master was Qui-Gon Jinn. And he had a green lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
An obvious choice for our fellow druid here.
Okay, Sionnach, Star Wars Sionnach.
But did you know that the Millennium Falcon's design was inspired by a hamburger?
What?
How peculiar is this?
What? Really?
George Lucas said it looked like a flying burger with an olive on the side, the cockpit.
I'm shocked. Okay, I have to rewatch Star Wars again.
What a weirdo.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, you're just hungry. Go get some snack, I don't know. Anyway, but next is Darth Maul. who blinked exactly 0 times in The Phantom Menace. Ray Park, who played him, kept his eyes open in every single scene to make him feel more inhuman and intimidating, and he really nailed it. So back when I was a kid, I was terrified of Maul because of the face, the horns, the double-bladed lightsaber, the stare. But now that I am grown up, only physically apparently, he's actually one of my favorite characters in the whole franchise because he's such a tragic and complex figure.
Yeah, I do agree with you. He looked scary.
Yes.
But do you remember General Grievous's cough?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was George Lucas, actually.
What?
The cough was recorded by Lucas himself while he had bronchitis. He just coughed into a mic and gave it to the sound team. What a weirdo!
I have no words for this. The man is a genius. That's what I call 2 birds with 1 lightsaber. It was such a cool fun fact. I love that. So, moving on. Val, you have created something for today, am I right?
Indeed. We will be doing a wee personality quiz. Are you ready for it?
I'm so ready for it because I love personality quizzes.
Okay, let's open this.
Which Star Wars character are you?
Yeah, we're gonna find out. So the first question, we're gonna do it.
Wait, before we start, who do you want to be? Let's manifest this and see if we get it in the end.
Qui-Gon.
Okay, I'll say Ahsoka.
Okay,
Now
let's see. So, let's go. And we're gonna do it together. I'm gonna read the question, and you can tell me what you chose. So, what drives you most in life? Adventure and excitement, balance and intuition, duty and diplomacy, love and connection, justice and peace, knowledge and understanding, or power and control?
I'm in between adventure and excitement and love and connection. I'll say love and connection.
Okay. I'm gonna choose justice and peace.
Oh, okay.
Let's see next. So pick your ideal weapon. Blue lightsaber, red lightsaber, words and wisdom, luck and a good blaster, the force and instinct, negotiation and politics, dual lightsabers.
I'd say blue lightsaber, hands down. What do you say?
Words and wisdom.
Words and wisdom. Oh, okay, Amidala. Actually, Amidala is the negotiation and politics.
Yeah, probably. Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah. What's your biggest flaw? Oh, so many of them. Going against the system, prone to anger, too self-sacrificing, recklessness, overthinking, emotional vulnerability, and trusting too much. I'd say overthinking. That's the main.
Yeah, that's definitely yours.
Yeah. What about you?
There are many of them that too self-sacrificing.
Yes. I was wondering why are you thinking about this?
I don't know, because overthinking as well, and
yeah, that's true.
Emotional vulnerability as well, and trusting too much as well.
We need therapy as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, who would you want to be by your side in a tough spot? A wise mentor, a unique thinker, a deeply spiritual guide, a team of trusted allies, a powerful Sith, a sarcastic sidekick, or a devoted loved one?
That is hard.
That is hard. But you know what? I'm between a wise mentor and a devoted loved one. But when I'm in a tough spot, I need my words of wisdom just, for my spirit to be lifted up. So I'd say a wise mentor because I don't know if the devoted loved one can say the things that I do really want to.
Yeah, because I might not be wise enough.
Yeah, exactly. What about you?
I'm in between a wise mentor as well, and a deeply spiritual guide, because I'm in my spiritual journey, and I would love to I don't know.
You would like a spiritual journey as well.
Yeah, so I'll go for that because that's what I want at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Or maybe I'm just overthinking it because I want to get Qui-Gon, and that sounds like something he would have said. So, what would Val choose? A wise mentor.
Yeah, you always need a May there.
Yeah, always.
For you.
Let's see the next. Pick a planet to call home.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got lawful, distant, and deep. Alderaan, loving and tragic. Naboo, peaceful and beautiful. Actu, remote and meditative. Coruscant, central and political. Mustafar, fiery and intense. Tatooine, rugged and wild.
Hands down, Naboo, peaceful and beautiful.
Yeah, Naboo.
Yeah,
definitely.
I want to go to Italy just, for this specific scene.
The balcony.
I hate sand.
Is it the balcony scene?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And the wedding scene as well.
And the wedding scene, of course.
Of course.
How would your friends describe you? I think we're going to answer for each other here. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So calm and reliable, intense and passionate, deep and philosophical, clever and unpredictable, caring and protective, smart and independent, graceful and persuasive. What would you choose for me?
I can see you in many of them, but mostly caring and protective, I'd say for you.
I was going to choose that for me as well. For you, I want to say intense and passionate, but you're also smart and independent. You're not unpredictable. You are reliable, but you're not really calm, and it's fine. You are caring and protective and graceful, but I'm gonna say no. I think I'm gonna say intense and passionate. Would you choose that for yourself?
Yeah, that's what I would choose.
Okay, good.
Great, we know each other.
Good.
Okay, next, what's your biggest strength? Wit and survival skills, power and determination, insight and awareness, compassion and loyalty, negotiation and poise, patience and clarity, faith and freedom of thought.
That is difficult.
That is... You know what? Well, I'll say for me, I'm between insight and awareness and faith and freedom of thought. But I'll choose insight and awareness because I have the third eye. And
you do. It is 100% true. For me, I think it's either compassion and loyalty.
Yeah, I think
that's it. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, let's do it.
And the last question. Your perfect droid companion would be... We have BD1, gentle and helpful. Chopper. Oh, I love Chopper. Quirky and chaotic. IG-11 combat droid. One that doesn't follow orders blindly. C-3PO protocol droid. And K2SO sarcastic protector. Oh, that...
I want to say C-3PO.
Yeah, I want that too, but I don't know if I really want it or because I love Anakin and I want to support his art. Yeah, I'd say C-3PO. Let's go with that. Oh!
Okay. What did you get?
What did you get?
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan! We were both Obi-Wans.
We were Obi-2s.
You're Obi-2s.
Disciplined, calm. Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay.
And burdened by responsibility. That's true. You're the embodiment of a true Jedi. Even through loss, you hold on to the light. That's quite,
Okay.
That's quite, on point.
We love that. We love Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But we're not calm.
We're
sorry.
not calm. For sure, we are not.
I will retake it again after we finish.
Can I change my... Where is Ahsoka, for God's sake?
There was Ahsoka there, and the thing that I made the quiz, so I know the answers, but I still didn't get the one I want.
you know what? I'm not even mad. I love Obi-Wan. So
I love Obi-Wan.
he is the best Jedi ever among all of them for me, personally. Yeah, top tier. Obi-Wan top tier. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah.
We thought it'd be fun to both choose 2 characters from the Star Wars universe and decide what D&D class and race they'd be if they lived in a fantasy setting. So Zeffie, who did you pick?
Okay, so first up, I had to go with Darth Vader. And to me, Darth Vader could easily be an Oathbreaker paladin because he was the golden boy of the Jedi Order, honor-bound, powerful, driven by a sense of justice until that all came crashing down. And once he turned, he broke his oath, fell into darkness, and basically became the ultimate edgelord with love. And as for race, I'd say Warforged, because he's literally being kept alive by machinery and revenge. So it fits both mechanically and emotionally.
True.
And the next one I've had in mind is my top favorite Star Wars character, the one I didn't get in the quiz, but we can move on. She is in the same place as Anakin, and you know how much I adore Anakin. It's Ahsoka Tano. I am no Jedi, so yeah, she's not a Jedi anymore, guys, but she's definitely not a Sith either. She follows her own path, guided by her sense of justice and not by an order, so to me, she's a perfect monk, probably in the way of the open hand, or maybe the way of shadow, because she's fast, graceful, she's all about precision and balance, and she's also wiser as she grows older, at least, and never loses control even when things get dark. But I would multi-class her as a rogue, maybe Swashbuckler, because she fights like she's dancing and her charisma is top tier. And for race, I don't know. No template fits her. She's unique. She's Ahsoka. So whatever. I really want to get a tattoo of her symbol at some point.
She's really cool indeed.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what if she's like a tiefling maybe?
Oh, yes.
That might fit.
Yes, a tiefling or Zariel.
Charismatic.
Zariel.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
I'm going to say this again. People might hate me for this. I don't personally like Anakin Skywalker. He has a pick-me energy.
Yes,
then,
because we pick him.
I know, but he evolved into a true Scorpio, so I wouldn't want to cross him. He took a revenge too seriously.
Yeah, that's true. But he really cared for his loved one, even though he killed her.
Did he?
Anyway,
we've got the same Mother Gothel discussion here, but the other way around.
But I have the Anakin edition.
Yeah.
But how about you? Who are the 2 characters you have prepared?
Okay, so I'm sure you were expecting it.
Chewbacca.
But I chose Chewbacca. He's definitely a berserker barbarian.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He doesn't need weapons. He has his fists. Also, his scream kinda fits perfectly the barbarian rage. His heart is full of emotions, but he's also a bit of a silly goose. Cute and scary in a way. So definitely a true barbarian. For the race, I'm a bit torn between either a bugbear or a furbolg. I've been torn because furbolgs are soft, cutesy giants, and that's what he is in my eyes. But let's be honest, he has the fire brewing inside of him like a true bugbear. With roots in the Feywild, early bugbears resided in hidden places, according to D&D Beyond. In hard-to-reach and shadowed spaces, they are long of limb and covered in coarse hair, with wedge-shaped ears and pointed teeth, just like Chewie. So I think I'll go for that.
I love that. You nailed it. 100%.
Thank you. For my second character, I chose Qui-Gon Jinn, obviously. Mm-hmm. He deserved better. He's definitely a mere variant human for the race. But he's buffed with wisdom, not intelligence. He looks plain and simple at the first look. But he's actually such a complex character, driven by order, by his own kind of order, the one that resonates with him in his head. He's like Tenzin from Avatar. And that's why he's one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
For a class, it has to be a monk, multi-classing with paladin. So I chose paladin, Oath of the Ancients, and monk, Way of the Open Hand. Capture his unarmored combat skills, discipline, and force-like reflexes. So he's definitely a monk. Oath of the Ancients aligns perfectly with Qui-Gon's deep connection to the living force, life, nature, and balance. The Oath of the Ancients is all about preserving light, beauty, and life in the world, just like Qui-Gon's often controversial belief in the living force over the Jedi Council's teachings. He's all about healing, protective magic, and nature-based divine vibe. He's essentially a force druid paladin. I think this is pretty accurate, to be honest.
Yeah, I love that. And as a paladin of the ancients, the Oath of the Ancients, he lives forever. He lives not in a physical form, but, the force keeps him kind of alive. We see that in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Mm-hmm.
He appears, and Obi-Wan can also do that. And Yoda can also do that, all these powerful Force users. So, yeah, I love that. I love that concept. That was great.
Wow.
But before we close, there is also one more thing I would like to discuss and share with you guys, because I think there are many of you who would love to play in a Star Wars universe. And there is indeed TTRPG games which provide that. 2 amazing Star Wars TTRPG systems that let you bring the character far, far away right to your game table. First one is the West End game Star Wars D6 system. It is a true classic and a foundational piece of Star Wars history. It was released in 1987, and this game actually helped build this galaxy far, far away. At the time, there were no prequels, no deep expanded universe lore, so West End Games filled in the gaps. They created detailed source books about planets, alien species, the Jedi, the Force, everything. And Lucasfilm loved them so much, they made them official reference material. Even Timothy Zahn, when writing the Throne trilogy, was sent a box of West End Games books to use as his guide. That's so cool. And as a system, it's fast, cinematic, and simple. You roll a bunch of 6-sided dice based on your skills, compare it to a difficulty, and let the story unfold, basically. It uses character templates, has no hit points, and pushes you to play big dramatic scenes, just like the movies. If you're force sensitive, you have to balance power with morality, risking corruption every time you give in to aggression. And despite its age, this system still holds up today. It's for players who care more about dodging blaster bolts and saving the galaxy than crunching numbers. And it's very exciting, and it helps shape the Star Wars universe we know and love today. So count us in.
That sounds really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The next recommendation is completely different, and it's called Star Wars 5e. This is a fan-made adaptation of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and it's honestly one of the most impressive community projects out there. So basically, if you already know how to play 5e, you'll feel that it's really easy to play. It reimagines D&D classes into Star Wars roles like Jedi, Sith, soldiers, engineers, operatives, and includes custom races like Twi'leks, Zabraks, and Wookiees.
Yay!
You still roll your D20s. Track spell slots, well, force powers in this case. And you build characters with backgrounds and subclasses just like you would in D&D. The website starwars5e.com is fully loaded with rulebooks, art, class guides, and more, all for free. The community behind is super active and constantly improving the content, adding new mechanics, feats, ships, and lore. It's not officially licensed, but it honestly feels like it could be. It leans more into structured mechanics and detailed combat than the cinematic chaos of West End's system. But it's perfect for players who love D&D and want to bring that playstyle into the Star Wars galaxy.
Oh, I wish we could play at some point. Oh, that is going to be amazing. Because they're both honestly so fascinating, and I really want to try them both at some point. Star Wars 5e definitely feels closer to what we're used to playing. But the West End Games version, that one really intrigues me because, I mean, that kind of cinematic epicness, I don't know, I need it in my life.
You definitely need that.
So this is the end, you guys. And as we wrap it up, we're curious. Have any of you ever played one of the Star Wars TTRPGs or maybe any other Star Wars themed game out there? If you have, did you like it? What was your experience like? We'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. So that's it for today. We really hope you enjoyed this episode. Go do Val's quiz. We will upload the link in the description box. We want to know which character did you get. And we are spending the rest of the day rewatching The Clone Wars because honestly, I just can't move on from it. So until next time, may the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you.
Bye!
Bye!